He'll be fine. Okay, so anyway, I was gonna say what my complaint is. Dude, every modern game has like the same like title screen, like where it's just like, here's simplistic like 3D image of a place in the game, and it's minimalist. It's all this minimalist shit. It has no style. Everything looks. My God, body type A versus B, my favorite. Wait a minute, what? Is body type A female? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's even worse. They have priority. All right, we're not even gonna edit the face. Oh my God. I almost feel like I don't need to change that. Just have like your bowl cut. Maybe I'll just make the hair black. Have a bowl cut and a beard. Good enough. I'm glad at least with Elden Ring they made A male and B female. Yes, I feel like blue. So apparently Blue Point is just their shit. They suck. I mean, they're great. They're great at graphics, except again, you know what? We'll see if the lack of piss filter makes the game worse. Because you know what? The piss filter had a place. It had a time and a place. The piss filter of the PS3 gen was not, I don't know. It sucked, but it sucked. Let's be real, it sucked. But it had a place. Goddamn. Like, I will say, like, it looks incredible. Like, my computer would not be able to run this, that's for sure. Unless it was really well optimized. But, yeah, it definitely, I mean, this is not what the original looked like, that's for sure. I'm also conflicted about the sound effects. Now, the sound effects in Demon's Souls weren't that good, because they were mostly stock sounds. So I say that with, some self-awareness, obviously. I didn't even try to backstab that guy. That was completely on accident. So I'm not, I don't know, I'm not shitting on it, like, because it's different, but I'm a little conflicted. Why is it so hard to just make a remake like the Resident Evil 1 remake? Why is the Resident Evil 1 remake the only remake like that, where it's just a flat-out improvement? Oh shit, they actually made his AI more aggressive. He didn't attack like that before. If you're here for the other Demon's Souls stream, you'll definitely notice where they changed some stuff. But no, I'm actually okay with that, because Demon's Souls is pretty easy. Muhammad Salman, thanks for the $2. Does it feel medieval, or is it fancy schmancy? I don't know. It feels pretty good so far. I mean, I don't have a complaint with the controls. It certainly feels, more smooth than the original Demon's Souls was. Demon's Souls is pretty clunky. I mean, for the people who say Dark Souls 1 is clunky, Demon's Souls was worse in every way. Absolutely, without a doubt. Like, Demon's Souls did not control that well. I mean, it controlled well enough, but it didn't control, like, super smooth by any stretch. I don't know. I hate modern UI shit, though. That's my real complaint so far, because I think the game looks really good, but this, like, black UI that's, like, minimalist shit in the side and the lower left, like, what is that? It looks... I hate it. I hate it. I'm gonna be honest, I hate it. Like, there is a limit to this. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can stylize something too much. If you ask me, Oblivion, like, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is a perfect example of when you, like, too heavily stylize something where it loses, like, readability and function. But for the most part, I'll take a stylized UI any day over, this black and white, like, type of shit. It just sucks. I don't know. I'm trying not to complain too much about things that most people won't care about, because if you've never played Demon's Souls, you probably won't give a shit about most of this anyway. If I can still beat Vanguard, no problem, then it is truly Demon Souls. What did I just get hit by? What the fuck was that? Alright. Come on. There we go. Alright, got him. Orson Welles quote about how art without limitations is hollow. Yeah, dude, I've seen that so many times. Like, that's the problem with modern gaming in a nutshell. I mean, when you look at, like, the PS1 or PS2 era, they had these limitations, but still managed to make some of the greatest games ever made. And people will lie to themselves and say that it's because people had lower standards then, or, you know, they could push boundaries. But even when just the core gameplay mechanics are better, then what is your fucking excuse then? You know what I mean? And the problem is modern games... Well, I'm glad they recreated that. That's still exactly the same. See, that's good. What? Oh, there you go. Alright. Well, I'm glad that's the same. I mean, anyway, yeah, now that people have these tools at their disposal where games can almost, you know, certain aspects of games are streamlined. I discussed this with someone else before on a previous stream. I can't remember exactly. But, you know, when a lot of these engines have built-in tools for development, then jobs like, you know, coding is less required. Like, actual programmers are undervalued and underused in modern game design, which is probably a big reason why AI hasn't advanced in so long. And gameplay mechanics are copy-paste across all AAA games, you know? Like, every sandbox game I played in, like, probably the past 6 or 7 years is just a variation on another one I played in that same period of time. They all have the same fucking mechanics, same side activities, same blah, 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 you know? Ubisoft is obviously the worst offender of this. Alright, let's do it. World 1-1. I'll talk to Crestfallen Warrior. Let's see if his voice sounds similar.
Well, you slipped through the fissure too, did you?
Wait a minute.
You came for demons.
Or
to save this
I can't tell. Is he black or Middle Eastern or something?
Hunting for demons.
What the fuck?
One of the Archstones.
He looks weird. I don't even... Man. You know what? Why? Why do they do this? It's kind of... I don't know. Something about this looks off. It's like they make shit super realistic, but the actual face models are nuts. Like, look at... Okay. Someone side by side this with the old equipment menu. Does this not look like generic shit? It absolutely looks like generic shit, and you can't tell me otherwise. Look at this. This is like some generic-ass action RPG menu. This... Come on, man. Come on. It's bad. It's bad. Let's be real. It's bad. I love how they didn't get rid of item burden either. I don't know, man. It's like... Blue Point is... Is it a real development studio, or is it literally just a bunch of artists? A bunch of artists who are, in this case, butchering a Japanese... you know, IP. But look at how amazing that looks. That looks fucking amazing, but it's still wrong. You know what I mean? It's... Alright, let's see the dragon. What does the dragon look like? Yeah, I mean, the dragon looks right. I mean, I don't think he had glowing yellow eyes, but he looks good. That's about what he looked like. Why is every face in this game over animated? It looks like it's in the Uncanny Valley. Yeah, exactly. Are they trying to overcompensate for the fact that there was no facial animations in the original? I don't know. I mean, look at that, dude. Look at that. This is like... I'm not easily impressed by graphics, but that looks good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. That actually looks really fucking good. That said, some of the sound effects sound like shit. Like the hollows, they just don't sound right. They don't sound like zombies. They sound like angry barbarians or something. So yeah, I just wanted to see what this looks like. So when this is pure white world 10 and see the gates gone. Even with the health bar, right? Okay. So we're undead, right? So we only have half health. Look, it's just a little line. I think in the original, it literally reduces your health bar size. Why would you cut corners on that of all things? And look at the fucking world tendency sign. It just looks amateur. You know what I mean? Why is it a game that from 2009? How do you fuck up UI? Who the hell worked on UI and is like, yes, this looks good? It doesn't look good. It looks bad. I'm so confused. I've never been this conflicted where I'm like, the actual game looks amazing. Like, if you cut out the UI, which they always do for the trailers, you notice video game trailers never have UI anymore. But the actual UI sucks, I guess is my point. You know, I don't need to keep saying it. Response to Doom Eternal review that was criticized. I mean, I did say a lot already. If you mean, like, a response to my response, I don't really care anymore. It's been so long. I don't know if I really have anything else to say on Doom Eternal. I was pretty harsh on certain aspects of it. I think it's a well-made game, for sure. But there's a reason... Why are you just standing there? Fight the guy. It's crazy. After playing, you know, Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring or, you know, Bloodborne or whatever, to see enemies just attack normally. Like, there's just a normal great sword swing, like 1 or 2 hit combo. It is very refreshing over the anime shit. The amount of people who got mad at me for calling out the anime shit, I'm just like, dude, what? Do you even like Dark Fantasy? That's my real question. Dark Fantasy is not supposed to be the super over-the-top shit. Yeah, got him. Kevin, thanks for the $2. What are other great Dark Fantasy games? How many Dark Fantasy games have I really played? You might be better off asking chat that. I'm trying to think. That guy looks fucking weird. And yeah, whoever was talking about the exaggerated face animation, yeah, what the fuck? Like, look at his mouth moving. Yeah, I went back to playing Demon Souls after Elden Ring. It's just so much more relaxing and well-paced. Yeah, it is. It is, absolutely. I mean, I've always liked linear games more than sandbox games anyway, so I knew that, you know, open world Souls wasn't gonna be, you know, what I wanted anyway, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But they really did some shit poorly that annoyed me. Come on. There we go. Yay, I did it. Demon vanquished. Look at these blood stains, man. How are you dying to fucking Phalanx? Some people are just not meant to play Souls games, I guess. I don't know. I'm hating. I'm hating at the moment. Okay, so they actually let you warp. Okay, so that is an actual improvement. I'll give them credit for that. You couldn't warp between them in the original. His audience is full of people confused about their gender. I'll say that again. I don't know.
Awaits the above.
Wait, she doesn't move her lips?
Mental will explain the nexus to thee.
Everyone else moves their mouth, but not her? I guess she's psychically communicating with me? Is that the... Alright. There are a decent amount of women in Germa's audience as well, but I would say it's more the problem of the LGBT community than specifically the T part than the other stuff.
And the last to the great giants of the northern lands.
Too bad that got cut, and of course, see,
Archstones were placed in the
I would
foundation
forgive
of the
every
sky.
change this remade make if they had the balls to just do the giant level. Just make your own giant level, prove that you're a real developer and not just a bunch of artsy fartsy people. But no, of course nobody's gonna do that. Even if it was the worst level in the game, I wouldn't give a shit, because it'd be something new.
And only I remain.
Me and Donkey could be great too. I wouldn't mind talking to Donkey. I mean, I don't agree with some of his opinions, which I believe I've talked about before. Like, he really likes Super Mario Odyssey, and I think Super Mario Odyssey is by far the worst of the 3D Mario games. Like, it's not even close. People will say Super Mario Sunshine's not even good, but like, I would play Sunshine like 3 more times before I'd play Odyssey again. Like, Odyssey's just so boring and brain dead. Super Mario Sunshine at least has really hard parts, even if it's partially because of bad controls and bad physics. I don't even care. I'll take that over Odyssey being boring as shit. Go, go, go. Oh, they changed it. It was called sticky white stuff before. Now it's sticky white slime. So they're censoring semen references now. For shame. Okay, that guy looks worse. Like, it's supposed to be a mask. He's not supposed to be just have an obese face. It was clearly a gold mask it was wearing before. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be, but that's what it looked like. I don't know. It doesn't look right. Oh shit, that hurt. Yeah, wait a minute, what? They're supposed to be miners. Why did they look like I don't know, goblins or orcs or something? Zombies? This is Blue Point, why? Just make the same thing. They're supposed to be like, you know, kind of like emaciated miners, not zombies. Because everybody's already a zombie anyway, so it's... at what point is it nitpicking? I don't know. All I know is that that's not what this is supposed to look like. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. See, the problem with a purely visual remake is, unless you haven't played the game since it came out, you're basically just playing the same game, but with better graphics, right? Which, you know, I'm not going to pretend this is a surprise or a revelation, but, you know, I don't know. Graphical remakes just don't interest me. And of all the games, even though they came out, I think, even literally the same year, I don't think Dead Space needed a remake. Demon's Souls didn't really need one either, but Dead Space needs one even less. Like, you could play Dead Space today and have a great time. But, you know, EA is a piece of shit company, so they did a piece of shit thing. Big surprise. Do these guys look like, you know, peasant, like, miner people to you? Not really, no. They're not... They don't look like they do mining. They look like orcs, or, you know, like trolls or something. I don't fucking know. I still, like, again, the Resident Evil 1 remake is the perfect remake, and you never see a remake like that. They just don't do it. I guess because it would be too much effort, but... Yeah, that's literally the only. There's only two types of remakes that even slightly interest me. Either one, what I just said, or two, something that's a reimagining, like the Resident Evil 2 remake. The graphical remakes don't matter to me, unless the original looked like absolute shit. So, like, if a PS1 game gets remade, I'm not gonna hate. Black Mesa is the only remake I can think of that's in the same tier. You know what's funny? I forgot to tell you guys, I finally played Half-Life 1 and 2. That was something I did last week. And I gotta say, Half-Life 1 hasn't aged that well. So if Black Mesa improves on the original, which I also own Black Mesa, yeah, I guess I'll give you my opinion on that next time. I'll give it a try. Half-Life 1, I feel like I was just lost half the time. For a game that's generally linear, it is weirdly not very direct with its level design. Half-Life 2 is just an improvement in every single way, except the only thing I didn't like as much about Half-Life 2 is they got rid of the horror. I mean, Ravenholm had a bit of a horror atmosphere, but it wasn't scary, though. That's the thing. Like, Half-Life 1, I got jump scared by some of those head crabs a few times. Half-Life 2, I don't think I ever got even slightly scared. Half-Life 2, though, definitely still one of the greatest games. I wouldn't say it's aged perfectly, but yeah, Half-Life 2, awesome. Totally glad I played it. I just played Episode 1, which wasn't that good, I'll be honest. It was way too scripted. Alex, I don't like Alex that much. I mean, I don't know. She's like, alright, is like a waifu character, but you know what the problem with Episode 1 is? And this is a slight problem I have with Half-Life 2 as well, is that it feels like proto-Marvel humor. Like, if you haven't played Half-Life 2 in forever, you absolutely will agree with me. It has, like, Marvel movie tier humor, which is... I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of that brand of humor now. I usually call it Reddit humor. Yeah, the only bad thing about Half-Life 1 is confusing level design. Yeah, it's the only bad thing, yeah. I will say there were a few moments I felt like they didn't give you enough health. Like, I mean, granted, you can quick save at any time, so obviously if you abuse quick saving, it's not so bad. But there were parts where I was like, oh shit, I don't have a save where I have a lot of health and armor, so. But yeah, I enjoyed Half-Life 1, but Half-Life 2 is definitely, like, Half-Life 2, if most modern games just did what Half-Life 2 did, I would, like, half my complaints wouldn't exist anymore. But unfortunately, everything started becoming more and more like a movie. If it's weird because these movies, I mean, these games that are like in between, like in the in-between phase where it's halfway modern, halfway not modern, which I basically would put Half-Life 2 and BioShock 1 in the same category with that, where they have certain things that we see in modern games now, but they still feel like an older game. Half the things that those games did, which made it work, were forgotten by, well, like an example is the audio logs in BioShock 1, right? They had those instead of having excessive cutscenes. And then Half-Life 2, there basically are no cutscenes. There's very few times where it takes control away from you. And there are two parts, though, where that kind of sucks. Like, when you're in Dr. whatever his name is in the beginning, his laboratory, and right after the river level, when you're meeting, you know, when you get to Eli Vance's place. Those are both pretty slow moments, but I think every other part of the game, you're pretty much playing the game the whole time. Why is that so hard to understand? You know what I mean? I hate the messages that lie about hidden walls. Just why waste the time making that message? Because, don't you get... I can't remember, what do you actually get when people upvote your message? Is it like, it restores your Estus flask, I think, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but, you know, people are like, oh, dude, troll message, bro, and then upvote it, and then you get the thing, you know? And it's like Reddit upvotes. Now, if you get your upvotes, then you're happy, right? As somebody who is heavily disliked on a lot of his videos, I don't really care, you know? It's like, if I actually posted on Reddit, I would certainly have 0 karma. The account I have actually does have positive karma, but that's because I very rarely commented. But yeah, these days, absolutely would have 0 without a question. Why? What are you posting on Reddit to get positive karma? Lol, doggo pics and dog stuff. I don't know. It was like 3 years ago. I'm trying to remember. I might have had the answer to something in like a gaming, like it was some question or something to some game. It's not a lot. I think I have like 200, so it's basically nothing. But I must have said something useful, because it certainly wasn't for any of my opinions, you know? Look at this. Thanks for reading. Why is that even something you can write? Why is that something you can write? Fuck you. You get a downvote. You get Reddit downvoted right now. And that's properly using the downvote for irrelevant discussion, which is not how anybody uses the downvote. I don't understand why people have such a problem with your opinions. You aren't saying anything hateful. Because everyone's a fucking consumer now, you know? Like, they defend products like it's a fucking family member. It is very sad. It is incredibly sad, but that is the state of the entertainment industry, because people want escapism so desperately that they will defend, you know, shitty art, quote unquote, to the death. Alright, here we go. Armored Spider, my boy. I like this guy. He's doing the triple fire. Yeah, this shield sucks. I don't have enough strength to use a good fire-resistant one. Time to run. Oh, he puts tar on the ground, sets it on fire now. That's different. That's probably better as a visual cue, so I'll give him credit for that. Fuck, I got baited by that again. Alright, easy peasy. Got him. Yay, demon vanquished. Are you a Coomer? 1 to 10, what do you rate yourself? Do you really want me to answer that? That's exactly the reason why I didn't want to do Smash or Pass, because it would be too high. It would be too high. The problem is, like, I try to be as honest with you guys as I can, and that's really the downfall, you know? Maybe that's where I finally start lying to conceal my power level at last. It's too high. Well, the number is too high, is what it is.
Can't you see? You've fallen for their trap.
I mean, this is just, you know, you look at this, right? It's like, holy shit, they put so much work into this. And then you look at this guy's face, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is like PS3, and then the rest of the game is PS5. Except, in the actual PS3 game, you know, it looked more charming, I'll say. I'm sure the polygon count is higher than PS3, but it doesn't matter. Talent is better than polygons. I feel like Demon's Souls, unlike what Souls eventually became, is sort of... It's like a whole journey. I think the same with Dark Souls as well, where over time, the Souls games, it became like, you're just playing the game until you get to the next boss. Like, Elden Ring is that to a T, where only the Legacy dungeons had halfway decent level design. Alright, here, I'll let this play out. Oh, that was like shorter than the original, I think. I can't tell with these graphics, do they damage another stage? I know I gotta break them all the way to make them fall over. Oh, there it goes. And he crushed me. Alright, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yay, got him. This is a very chill game. It's weird. I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody I watched that said that, you know, the question was like, what's your chill game? You know, what's the game you play to like chill out? And someone said Souls, and they're like, what? Really? Oh my God. And it's like, I honestly can imagine that. I can definitely imagine that. I'd like to thank you for showing the glory of old games. I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time, and it has now made my top 3 of all time. Sincerely, thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it that much. I really enjoy that game. There's some people, there was multiple people who were mad at me for saying it was a masterpiece in the Elden Ring long video. When it's just like, if you don't understand what people like about Resident Evil 4, then you just don't value encounter design. And actually, that shouldn't surprise me too much, because I feel like if Elden Ring is your favorite Souls game, you definitely don't value encounter design. Open worlds destroy encounter designs. You can't afford to have a bunch of unique encounters in an open world. It just never works out that way. Seeing the ratio on your Elden Ring video really shows how hard people stand for any From game. Any criticism is objectively wrong, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I can take some blame for some parts of the video not being as well thought out as they could be. Like, ironically, probably the weakest part of the video is when I explain my definition of masterpiece. I have played Persona 3, yeah. I think Persona 3's story is much better than 4's. I actually thought Persona 4's fucking Scooby-Doo plot was very poorly handled. It really did feel like a Scooby-Doo thing. I like the characters, you know, as the, like, I have no problem with the characters, but the the Scooby-Doo plot fucking sucks. Adachi is just a shit character, and people on V unironically praising him. Like, they want to compare him to like a Ted Kaczynski type, but he really didn't come across that way. He came across as just a loser. Come on. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm about to get penetrated, you guys. Ooh. I actually broke out. I could have dodged that. I don't know how, but I swear, I think the AI has gotten worse. Those spear guys is supposed to stab straight forward, so when you walk by, they hit you. Instead, it seems like they gave them normal AI, so they track where you're at, so they missed. They're just supposed to stab straight ahead. By making the AI more complex, they actually ruined the level design of that little thing. Nitpicks add up eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I need to say. Is that individually, these criticisms don't matter so much, but they do add up. And basically what they add up to is Bluepoint probably will never produce a game of value and will only be known as a company that can make a game look pretty, you know? Maybe a bit harsh, but they fucked up a lot of stuff. What is your political, ideological, and cosmos opinion about tomboys and femboys? Yeah, I mean, I like tomboys about as much as the next guy. Chie was my waifu in Persona 4 for that reason. She was best girl regardless anyway. But as for femboys, no. No. I am not a femboy supporter. Imagine how hypocritical I would be liking femboys with as much criticism as I have of trans people, you know. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Part of the reason I didn't play Persona 5 is because it got too popular. Like, that might be one of the most hipster things I've said, but sometimes when a game just gets talked about too much, I lose all interest. Are you hyped to see false idol feet in 4K? I guess we'll see. Are the wokies who ruin games evil or stupid? IMO evil. They're not evil in like the literal sense. I think most of the people driving the far left stuff are just brainwashed. It's literally that simple. So I don't see them as evil, but I do. So I'd probably say more on the idiot scale, but I wouldn't even say they're idiots necessarily. Some of them are. Some of them are for sure. But it's something I'm so fucking frustrated like that it is hard to think about it rationally. Where, yeah, okay, these are human beings and they've just been fooled and they really think that they're being a good person. But I feel like if you have to convince yourself you're a good person, you're probably a bad person. I'm just saying. Like, you either know that you are or aren't a good person. You know, if you have to convince yourself you're good constantly, which is basically just what virtue signaling is, then you're a bad person. It's that simple. And so a lot of them, yeah, I don't have sympathy because they're fucked up. I mean, they're fucked up. If they're brainwashed, that means they're evil. They gave up their critical thought and individuality. I guess that's more of just a difference of what I would consider evil. I think they're much closer to the NPC meme than you know, whatever you would define evil as. It doesn't mean they're not human. It's more just a realization that most people are not very capable of critical thinking. You have to remember, a shit ton of people don't have an inner voice. Like, that's the thing that still blows my mind every time I think about it. Like, I don't know what the real number is. I'm sure it's not as high, or at least I hope it's not as high as whatever that study was. But the fact that people can't have, like, a vocal conversation in their head, you know, to just... that's mind-blowing to me. Do you like the remake so far? Gameplay-wise is completely fine. Graphically and sound effect-wise, and some of the animations they fucked up. They fucked up a lot of stuff, but most of it is minor. That's the thing. Like, I think I would rather they fuck up, you know, let's say 30 or 40 minor things than a couple major things. I don't think there's been any real huge fuck-ups, but a lot of stuff is just wrong. The music is a huge one. Some of the animations look weird. The facial animations are awful. The voice acting is actually worse than the original. So stuff like that is not good, obviously. What is wrong with you? Why, for breaking the boxes? Why does that have 60... Are Redditors the only people who play Souls now? Why does it have 60,000 upvotes? No, I downvoted it, Void Philosopher. That was a downvote. Unless I pressed the wrong button. I thought I downvoted it. Did you think there'd be a hint? Okay, so, yeah, it's right is downvote. What? No, that upvoted. What the fuck? What? Wait a minute. Is this a trick? Is it the other way? Is it the... Wait a minute. Okay, let's go to the next message. I need to see this. Wouldn't the highlighted side be the side you press? Alright, now I'm going to try hitting the left. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Upvotes and downvotes are both appraisals. What? Why? What? I don't understand. What the fuck? Why wouldn't a downvote be a down appraisal? Like, here's another one, okay? So yeah, it makes a evil message, but it still counts as an upvote. What the fuck? I don't... Oh my god. That's one hell of a woke messaging system. I'm assuming... Well, no, I don't get it. I don't get it. What I would assume how it works is downvotes, even though it increases the number, would make it despawn if it's a bunch of downvotes, but The fact that it increases the number is very confusing. Like, what's even the point of the number then? Like, why would you care how many people rated the message? You would only care how many people liked the message, you know? Alright, what does this guy sound like? Man, look at how boring the hollows look. That doesn't even look like a hollow, dude. This is what should have been the collage. Like, the fucking collage I saw lowballed it. This looks way worse than some of the shit that was in there.
What do you want?
If she plagues my ass, I will be upset. Fuck. That's what I was worried about. Alright, I think they maybe nerfed Plague. I don't know. That didn't seem to be killing me so fast. Alright, here we go. Someone wanted to see 4K feet. Maybe there'll be some 4K feet. What's the point of a door opening cutscene if there's like a fog gate that spawns right at the door? This is kind of weird. Alright, here you go, guys. Did they make her uglier? They made her uglier. Why did they make her uglier? This is just another one of those studios like NetherRealm that can't do faces. Either that or they did it on purpose, which is even worse. Oh shit. Oh! That could have been extremely bad. Oh, that's not it. Jesus. So they actually changed this boss fight. This is not how it worked before. But I guess they made it harder. Oh my god. No. No, 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 no. Come on, killer. There we go. Alright. They should improve that boss fight. Okay. I'll give credit where it's due. It's Ronnie's grandma. They told Sony told Bluepoint to do so. I don't believe that. Look, as much as you know, I'm sure Sony does that shit for some stuff, but I doubt they care about Demon Souls enough to be like, this mildly attractive character must be ugly. I mean, it's a a boss that you fight one time and then you move on with the game. It's not exactly. I'm not that black-pilled on it, I guess. Yeah, maybe later. Maybe I'll do Soy Face later, and I'm also not answering any questions about 6 million. No 6 million questions. But tell me this does not look like some generic middleware game pause menu. It absolutely does. Like, it's crazy how the character models are so infinitely worse than the environments. Oh yeah, I was gonna suicide to make sure I get pure white world tendency. Men age like wine. That is kind of a saying, but I feel like that's probably less and less true in the modern day. Probably because most older people are overweight or obese. I mean, in the United States, the obesity rate is probably over 50% now, because there aren't any studies from after COVID. And before COVID, it was at like 40-something. It was like 40% or 42% or something. So, with all these obese older people, That's probably only true if the man stays in shape, I guess. We discovered that whether you upvote or downvote a message, it still adds to the number of appraisals, right? So if I downvote this, it makes a noise that sounds like a downvote noise, but it still adds +1 to the number. Like, who the fuck designed this system? Why even have downvotes at all? Oh yeah, this woman.
You there? Won't you please buy something? My poor child is hungry.
The fucking... I will never get over these cartoon face animations. They just take me out of it completely. You have high hopes for GTA 6? Fuck no. Fuck no, man. I guarantee you none of the people who made any of the GTA games great are still at Rockstar by now. There's no way. That's what happens to every developer over time. I mean, if you ever have to ask yourself, okay, you know, why did Rare go to shit? I think everyone knows why Rare went to shit, though. Why did Bungie go to shit? Why did, you know, Naughty Dog go to shit? It's because the people that made it great don't work there anymore. That's been the case, like, every time. They get replaced by diversity hires, which seems to be a common thing I talk about on this channel. I think it's over there. Okay, they definitely made the AI dumber. They did not do that before. Like, let's get... Yeah, look, another guy just fell off the cliff. What the fuck? I really, really don't like this menu. It's bad. It's just bad. Alright, Leechmonger. Let's go. That honestly doesn't look like a huge graphical improvement over the original. I hate to say it. Like, it doesn't look bad, but that doesn't look very next-gen to me. There we go. This game is kind of claustrophobic. That level was. Ironically, the next section is not. It's a giant empty swamp. More empty than any other swamp by far. It's probably... It would definitely be in the top 5 worst areas From Software's made. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as, like, Lost Izalith, which is probably the worst, but the second swamp section is just... It sucks, because it's lazy. It looks bad. The problem I have with Demon's Souls Remake is that it looks cartoony, but still a good game. I prefer the original myself. Yeah, it's funny, when I played the original on stream, everyone's like, play the remake, play the remake. And I'm just like, I already know I'm just gonna complain about half the shit. Female characters aside, there weren't any sexy guy characters in Elden Ring either. From Software is not supposed to have sexy in it, outside of, you know, I mean, they had bosses before, I guess. I guess some people were attracted to, the Emerald Herald. For the most part, it was boss characters. Do you really need more than Melina and Ranni anyway? I mean, those are the two in Elden Ring. I don't really care about any of the other ones. He probably was immune to poison before, because I remember just shooting 100 arrows for 20 minutes. I remember the first time I played this game, this confused the shit out of me, the guy who's up there. Because it was like, what the fuck? Like, why is there just a guy up there? You know? But yeah, there's so much shit tied to tendency. I mean, you can obviously beat the whole game and ignore that, but... Oh man, they added more stuff, guys. Visual effects. These guys literally are just souls. Just roll spamming motherfuckers. I love that though. If I was using a shield, this would be way easier, because you can, you know, block their bony rolling. How would you rank the Souls series? I know this is a cop-out answer, but I feel like if I was to rate them based on what my favorite is versus what the highest quality game is, those would be two slightly different lists. I'll just tell you what my favorite is, because I don't really care about, like, objective best. I don't know. I hate the objectivity argument when it comes to art anyway. I don't know. It's just annoying. Sometimes I say something is objective just to annoy nerds, which I think I did that in my first Elden Ring video. But I also get annoyed by it. So, my favorite is Dark Souls, second favorite is Bloodborne, third favorite is this, well, the original version. Fourth favorite is probably Elden Ring. Oh yeah, I want to keep in mind, I never finished Sekiro, so I'm not ranking Sekiro. Also, Sekiro is not really a Souls game anyway. But anyway, fifth favorite is probably Dark Souls 3, and then last place is Dark Souls 2. I don't think I missed anything. Fuck it. I'll experiment for a sec. You might as well. I might get something good. You never know. Talisman for Colorless Soul. Did I pick up? Yeah, here we go. Talisman of God. Alright, thanks. Yeah, that was... Wait, did it even show up? Oh, do you have to... Does it work the same way as the original where you actually have to exit out of the game? It does, doesn't it? Why would they do it that way? Like, of all the things to keep the same, you should have fucking changed that. That is the worst part of this. Why does everyone wank off Blue Point? Because normies love graphics, like realistic graphics. They don't care about anything else. I mean, I play old games all the time. I just played Half-Life 1 and 2 for the first time. Not one time did I think, oh man, I wish this had super realistic graphics. How would that make the game better? It wouldn't. Yep. Wait a minute. Oh, they fucked that up. That's supposed to make a loud noise when it shoots, so that you know when it's coming for you. How did they fuck that up? I'm gonna hope that was a glitch, and that the following ones make... Nope, they fucked it up. They fucked it up. It's supposed to be way louder than that. At what point would it be better just to rip the original sound effects, you know? Instead of doing this, which, you know, is objectively worse because it doesn't communicate to the player that they're about to get sniped. I mean, I can hear it faintly. You know, if I didn't have headphones on, I would be angry because I literally wouldn't be able to hear it. Like, if I was playing this through TV speakers, I would not be able to tell when they're about to shoot me. It's just bad design. Must genocide the weebs. The secret final boss in Elden Ring is a giant pair of feet that crush you repeatedly, and you have to lick the toe jam to defeat them. Jesus Christ. Listen, if Miyazaki... Don't let Miyazaki become like Kojima. Someone's got to keep him in check. I don't think he's that much of a degenerate, but, you know, I don't know. I can't even laugh at a comment like that. This is disturbing to me. Miyazaki literally has a beard on his neck. Oh, does he have a neck beard? I don't... I can't remember... I mean, I know what he looks like, but I don't know. I guess I just don't remember. Alright, here we go. This is another guy, they butchered his design. He was supposed to be yellow. Now he's just a fat guy. He's not yellow anymore. Alright. They really did make him disgusting. I mean, I guess if that was the goal, they succeeded. The worst part is, when it comes to these giant fat enemies, the best place to hang is their ass. Which just adds to the disturbing level. I guess unlike Asylum Demon, they didn't really model an ass here. No ass. Yeah. The billion-dollar companies, I think, know what they're doing. I'm just saying. I mean, not always. Obviously, with the wokeness angle. Well, a lot of wokeness is being pushed by BlackRock and, you know, Larry Fink. So, that has an explanation, too. Does everyone here browse V? Probably not. I mean, I don't even browse V that much. Because it sucks. I mean, V sucks. So, it just gets old after a while. This game is a good example where I'd say about 70 to 80% of it is an improvement, but that last 20% is way worse. Like, it just looks bad. The character models look fucking awful. Like, the facial animations are inexcusable. They look amateur as shit, but a lot of it looks pretty good. Like, a lot of it does look good. That's the thing. I'm more down the middle on that. It's not a bad remake by any stretch, but it certainly doesn't feel like people who understand the visual aesthetic of Souls so much. Japanese make way better games in the West nowadays. That is certainly true in the AAA space. Yeah, the CIA invented the term exactly to discredit people who would question the government. I know. Why do you think they always bring up flat earthers every time and compare anybody with a, let's say, an opinion backed by solid evidence, they compare it to a flat earther every time? It's just like, yeah, wow, that doesn't stick out at all. That's not weird. Well, we'll set this up. I'll stage my soy face. Oh, it's the Machine Woman from Ditchy Bard. You guys remember? I remember. You know, there you go. All right, no, never doing that. I'm not doing that again for a long time. I need real incentives to do that. Fuck. There we go. You look like you just died. Yeah, I did. Every time I do that, a little bit of my soul leaves my body. Expect that to be in a compilation later when your channel gets bigger. Thanks for the $5. Incentive enough? More soy glasses, please. What do you want from me? Give me a sketch. Write me out a sketch or something. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe Elon Musk will buy YouTube someday, lol. Yeah. We can only hope. I don't think even Elon Musk could afford yeah, no, I don't think he could. I think YouTube is probably worth more than most people realize, because it just controls too much power. I mean, it's probably more powerful than cable television at this point, you know, like all of it. So YouTube is probably worth way more than we think it is. The only good Sony consoles is Vita and PS2. What the fuck is wrong with you? The PS1's awesome, and the PS3 is still good, despite what people will tell you about it having no games. You know what? I talked about that before. I need to do a stream to debunk the PS3 no games thing. I'll just play games that are only on PS3 that have never been ported to another console. Yeah, I mean, that is certainly a perk of old games. Just being able, like, unlockables are just a dead thing in games. They don't exist anymore, because there's no point. Backwards compatible PS3 is one console I would keep if I could only have one. Yeah, I don't have one either. Oh, I got him. There we go. Finally we killed him. Based on the stream timestamp, that dragon took 14 minutes to kill. Yeah. There's probably a better way to do it. I mean, granted, if you wait long enough, you can get the white bow, which has a really high range, and you can do full damage, you know, and upgrade that, which is probably a much better way, but I don't know, there might be an even better way than that. That was just the way I've always done it. So PS Now's PlayStation 2 section is so underdeveloped. I don't know how PS Now licenses their old games, but man, there's no PS2 games and 0 PS1 games. Yeah, I remember looking at that. I don't know, they don't give a shit. I just don't think the demand is there. Sony, the thing is, when a company's on top, they only care about catering to the lowest common denominator, because they have the normies. When you have the normies, you don't need to cater to the nerds. The nerds are a tiny minority. Yep, here we go. I knew I remembered that right. So, this is the special mechanic of Demon Souls if you've never played this game. If you don't die in human form and you kill 3 bosses, your world tendency goes up to pure white, which unlocks new stuff. And similarly, pure black, which you would basically have to die in human form a few times, also unlocks stuff. And usually pure white is how you get some of the cooler weapons in the game. Here she is. This is another From Software trope, have some butcher woman. They actually even have the cannibal chick from Dark Souls in the swamp. Fuck, she does a lot of damage. God damn, dude. I'm gonna die. Yep. Oh, okay. Time to run. She does, like, twice the damage of anyone else here. What the fuck is up with that? Yeah. Alright, this is the part where I'm gonna die. Platforming. You guys like platforming in Souls? Everyone does. I've never met a person who doesn't like platforming in Souls. It's actually pretty okay in Elden Ring because of the jump button. I mean, it still wasn't good, but the jump button made it tolerable. Oh boy. God fucking damn it. I knew it, dude. I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen.